In early 2025, Chinese military forces held drills near Taiwan, actively simulating a blockade intended to isolate the island from the world. For decades, Taipei's defense against this threat relied on the defense of the bastion approach, a strategy tracing back to the era of Chiang Kai-shek. The doctrine demanded conventional parity. Taiwan's planners aimed to match China plane for plane and ship for ship, investing heavily in high-end fighters, large naval vessels, and heavy tanks to win a traditional war. However, attempting to match the resources of a rapidly growing neighbor creates a dangerous vulnerability. Without perfect resource equality, a conventional arms race against a larger power leads towards certain defeat. The economic reality has made that conventional path impossible. China now outspends Taiwan on defense by a ratio of 13-1. This chart shows that leading up to 2017, Taiwan's defense spending as a percentage of GDP consistently declined, falling below historical standards. This funding gap left the military hollowed out. Units were under-equipped, and recruitment repeatedly failed to meet manpower requirements for high-intensity conflict. Compounding the problem is a reliance on U.S. hardware. Today, billions of dollars in weapon sales are stuck in a backlog, delayed by international supply chain issues and shifting political priorities in Washington. Facing a massive spending deficit and a stalled supply of foreign weapons, Taipei's leadership realized the traditional logic of conventional warfare had reached a financial dead end. In 2017, the Ministry of National Defense unveiled the overall defense concept. This was a formal pivot away from matching China's strength and toward embracing asymmetric warfare. It's called the porcupine strategy. The goal is to make the island so painful to attack that a larger predator cannot afford to swallow it. Phase 1 targets the littoral domain, extending 100 kilometers. Fast attack catamarans and cruise missiles are designed to cripple an invasion fleet. If breached, the second phase begins, a 40-kilometer gauntlet filled with smart sea mines and mobile missile launchers. Focusing on these zones forces an invader to fight through a series of traps, rather than engaging in a standard naval battle on the open sea. Rebuilding the military around these asymmetric weapons required an immediate and massive reversal of the previous decade's budget cuts. President Lai has pushed for an aggressive new standard, calling for the defense budget to reach at least 3% of the island's total GDP. Standard annual budgets were too slow for this transition. To move faster, the government authorized special budgets, including over $8 billion in extraordinary funding to purchase priority hardware. This money is being used to bypass the delays in U.S. exports. It flows directly to local arsenals like the NCIST, funding the production of drones, advanced cruise missiles, and high-performance ships. Rather than waiting on foreign deliveries, Taiwan is using these billions to build its own arsenal, turning military spending into an engine for domestic industrial sovereignty. The 2025 Quadrennial Defense Review takes this strategy a step further, expanding the concept of military deterrence to include the entire island civilian infrastructure. This latest review prioritizes whole-of-society resilience, preparing Taiwan's information networks and civil services to withstand a sustained assault. In this framework, tactical victories in the air or sea matter less than the island's ability to function under pressure. Integrating military hardware with civilian readiness targets the aggressor's own internal cost-benefit analysis before an invasion even begins. Taiwan's transition suggests that for a small state facing a massive neighbor, survival depends on becoming prohibitively difficult to consume.